Well, since Sallow is in the entryway, uh, I want to try and open the door and fire off my grappling hook onto anything that looks kind of sturdy, and maybe attach a couple lines to the Normandy.
Yeah, I will let you do that without rolling. And when the hatch opens, you hear several people gasps. They've returned.
And whenever Solo starts getting the lines attached, Rain kind of like storms out and like tries to vault over him, going shit, 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 shit. And she's
When
gonna
you
try and
are you going to emerge?
she's gonna jump out and try to lift the Normandy back onto solid ground.
Roll your, I guess, lift or whatever power you're trying to use.
All of the powers.
I'm gonna use a medal for this too.
You probably need a medal for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a medal. So let's roll.
I have no idea what that
Plus
is.
1 plus 15. 34.
Nice. Okay.
So Rain just kind of like runs out, shit, 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 jumps over Solo, spins around, woof, and lifts up the ship and puts
Yes.
it back on the ground.
Yes. So Gwenhael, like something emerges from this big, whatever it is, metal, whatever it is. This blue being
Purple.
comes out. A purple being. You've never seen a creature like this before. Comes out and she like does some sort of force magic spell or whatever to move this giant ship so that it's no longer teetering back and forth from this cliff. And while this is happening, the crowd starts gasping. Several of them get down on their knees in tears and start bowing before the big giant structure before them. And several people are yelling out, "It's the heralds of Andraste! They've returned with even more powerful spirits." And they get down on their knees again, worshipping whatever is going on, whatever the spectacle is happening.
You're right. Force magic.
If Rain
Fellow
just kind
Sai
of
is
that's really weird and creepy.
By this point, Gwenelle, you probably have reached near the front of the crowds of people, the crowds of worshipping people, and Connor is right behind you in the snow. What do you do, Gwenelle? Were you clapping?
Yes, see, you are the spirit everyone is clamoring about, then? No?
I don't think spirits pant. What?
No, I was about to say the same thing. Then you are panting very hard. You are a mage, then, of... where are you from?
Brother Gwenelle, Connor says as he grabs your arm. Careful, it could be a demon.
Where I'm from? Not here. Jeez, it's cold. She's just now realizing that there's snow everywhere, and she's sort of like in her pants and like t-shirt. She's not in her armor because she didn't go out in her armor.
Oh, okay. When you said pants, my brain was...
Yeah, like she
entirely different... I'm sorry, entirely different dialect there. Sorry.
she has like combat boots on and like a sleeveless shirt. She's just like, jeez, it's cold.
While this is happening, back on the ship, everybody hear Joker on the comm saying, "Uh-oh, looks like our captain is facing one of the natives. You guys probably should get out there for backup just in case."
Yeah, Sallow's already in the doorway. He's just kind of like waiting for Rain to say something.
How about Quinn and Faith? Are you guys
I think basically
coming?
I run after making sure her sisters are okay because they had all landed on the ground after the ship landed.
The sisters Willa looks like she's got a bruise on her I guess arm, and Winona has a bump on her head. And but other than that, they're a little worse for wear. They're just confused as to what just happened.
I think I'm gonna go see what's going on, and then she'll go running out to see what is going on.
Okay, so another blue figure. Again, wait, she's purple and blue. A bluish figure appears from the structure, what their people are calling the Ark of Andraste, as well as I guess another being in a suit, Quarian, is it Quarian in a suit emerges as well. So Ray out of character, two Asari and a Quarian.
Okay.
At this point, Connor pulls out his sword.
Because Sallow doesn't like being shown up, he's gonna come out there on his jetpack boot things.
Yes.
So, two Asari and a Quarian walk into
Yes.
a
Oh,
bar.
flying Quarian.
A flying Quarian with a jetpack.
Well, I don't think Solo's flying yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, he's jetpacking. Did I read that right?
Jetpacking.
You're jetpacking out, levitating to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, he jetpacked out and softly
Rain, like-
lands onto the snow.
Rain goes over our there. All right, show off. You could at least brought me a jacket.
I'm Gwenhael does lean to the side. No reason to be hasty, but to be ready for anything.
Of course, whoever these are, they've got amazing powers. I've never seen anything like it.
So, rogue dude, whatever. What was your question again?
From where do you hail?
I'm not even sure where I am right now, so I'll have to hold on that. You said something about a mage? She looks at you kind of weird.
Yes, you are not a spirit. So, you are not a spirit. And you moved this vessel into just lifted it up. That is something that normally only a spirit or mage or demon could do.
You mean like throwing fire and wielding ice and things like that? I wish. No, I'm not a mage. And she kind of like rubs her lip because whenever she fell, it reopened her lip, so it's bleeding again. Wait, no, it wouldn't because it's been stitched up for a while. It might still be scabbed. I don't know. It's like, no, not a mage. That would be cool though. Something. You mean you've never heard of biotics?
Biotics? The word bio?
Is that a form of blood magic?
Life?
Connor asks.
Yes, you are a blood magician, a blood mage.
What's a blood mage? I don't like the sound of that. Don't like bleeding.
I think Faith is gonna look around and see the way everybody is dressed and all that. I think we're somewhere that they wouldn't know what all this stuff is.
The word is pre-flight species.
Faith, you said that you enjoy reading books, and you probably have read a lot of fantasy novels. I'm sure maybe some of the classics like the Tolkien. You might have read some Tolkien classics back in your day, and so this, it looks very similar to that
So,
kind of a
Faith,
world.
do you think the not in Kansas anymore would be too far?
I don't even know what this place is, but I do know one thing. This place is definitely not heard of.
Not Kansas, gotcha.
Yeah.
This is
No technology.
this is Ferelden that we are in currently, the land of noble knights and smelly dogs.
Hey, I was from this place, brother, Connor says.
Smelly dogs can be adorable. It's not like I'm insulting it, but you must admit, it smells like dog here.
So, not as
It
bad as
does.
Tuchanka. Okay.
I do not know what a tachunka is. My first instinct was to say gesundheit.
Well, at least we know what sneezing is.
Sallow will be referencing all of the star charts that he's acquired throughout the different universes and trying to figure out where the hell this is in relation to any known universe.
Rain is just rubbing her arms and looking around. It's like, can they stop? You know, the whole bowing thing that's really weird, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
Yes, I got so absorbed in with this right now. This is official now. Work with the Chantry and the Circle of Magi. So everyone, please clear the area to a safe area as we continue our investigation.
One of the people there looks a little upset, but and before they have a chance to protest, another one places a hand on his shoulder and says, "That there is Junior Enchanter Gwenhael. He's dealt with this sort of things before. We should let him speak with the heralds of Andraste in private." All right, everyone. You heard him. Everybody starts to disperse. There's one guy off the side who is yelling out, "I told you they would come again! Repent, I say! Repent, for the end is nigh! They have come here twice to warn us of our sins, of which we shall all be crushed and destroyed for! Repent! Repent!" The man starts yelling out. Most of the people ignore him. A few of the sheep start to like pick up on what he's saying, and they seem to be swayed by what this man is saying.
Monsieur,
The gentleman turns towards you.
could you do me the favor and please shut up?
Rain gives
you
like a
go again?
shivers,
Ask him
like,
that
by the
myself.
goddess, I don't like religious zealots.
Can you roll a persuasion or an intimidation, Gwenhael?
Okay. Do I get any bonuses for being the amazing Gwenhael?
Yes. I will let you add another +2 to that. Add a +2
Okay.
for being the amazing Gwenhael, as you would put it.
Heck, let's add a +20.
Let's see here. So let's see here. 4, this is 2. So ooh.
And in a huff, he will probably not stop his ranting, but he'll at least move out of the way and rant somewhere else where other people might be more interested in listening to him. So the crowd disperses.
Well, that was awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Really awkward and cringy.
Agreed.
Before I let you guys continue, I wanted to let Salo know, because he was trying to run some analysis on his star charts. This doesn't seem to be any galaxy. This doesn't seem to be any planet that appears anywhere in the Milky Way galaxy. It seems to be outside of the Milky Way galaxy completely. So Rain
So to quote, in a galaxy far, far away, at a time long, long ago.
Yes.
Sorry,
Rain-
I'm still hyped.
I didn't understand what you're saying. What do you think, my young apprentice? Anyways.
Rain has returned, somehow acquired a jacket of some sort during this exchange, and probably while
I just realized something. Asari look kind of like desire demons.
they kind of do,
Especially since Rain is purple.
especially since
Yes.
Rain is purple.
Oh boy.
That's why Connor
Gwenhael
was
is-
like, yeah.
Gwenhael is still so that because that is not the power of a desire demon. 2, they do look different enough, but he is still being hesitant. But I just realized that there is exactly a spirit that it does look like. I've been going through my mind to figure out what they might look like to him, and I finally figured it out.
So Gwenhael, you just told off that man, and he has left, and the crowd is dispersed.
Rain, we are not in the Milky Way anymore.
Pardon?
This planet is not known in any universe in the Milky Way galaxy. So, ruling out the impossible, what's left, we are not in the Milky Way anymore.
What the actual fuck? She's just gonna kind of like scream at the sky. Can anything else go wrong? Goddess, please, give me some slack.
Don't ever say that anything else can go wrong, because it will go wrong.
Oh,
And then
I'd
Quentin
love
joins
to
the
see
picture.
it. I don't think anything can surprise me anymore.
So Quinn's going to casually walk up to the airlock lookout, and I am going to ask for an investigation roll.
Go ahead. By the way, Ray, the fourth person who has emerged from the ship is another Quarian in a black suit.
He has a sword.
He has
An actual sword.
Yes.
Something you are familiar with.
Yes, you're familiar with the sword.
Planet technological period culture. A culture surrounding
This
area
planet's this
time period
this
basically.
this planet seems to be a Tech 2, I think is what Elias referred to it as. Elias referred to it as a planet that whose civilization has reached level 2, I think, which means that hasn't quite gotten space travel. They still use swords and shields and things like that. They don't have guns. Um, so lower intelligence.
Excuse me? No.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, low to him in character for him, lower intelligence, and yeah.
Quinn's going to look around, look out. No, and he's going to walk right back in.
Okay.
He's
So,
like,
yeah.
nope.
No, not today. No, just now. He's going to go look for the two new employees and Nilu. Just make sure the crew's all right.
Okay. Nilu is currently repairing some of the like parts of the ship that looks like it got damaged during the. She's frantically trying to help repair the ship from the crash. So.
Okay.
So yeah, Rain.
After making certain everyone's okay, the doctor, everyone's okay. Okay, he'll reluctantly. Not. You know what? No. No, you think he's going to try help with repairs and junk like that. So back to everybody else.
I was just recapping that Rain just like screamed up at the sky and is just freaking out about whatever apparently is going on.
Cello will ask ask Gwenhael, who he does not know his name yet. What galaxy is this?
Turning around so that after what narrowing eyes, he's gone. I'm sorry. Sorry? Galaxy?
Let's start simple. My name is Rain. What's yours?
My name is Gwenhael Dubois III.
Okay. And the other one?
I'm Connor Dubois, the first.
Does Connor still have his sword out?
He probably actually Connor. If you adopted him, you probably would let him keep his previous last name, I would think. Or do you think they would have given him Dubois as his last name?
Yeah, if you wanted to, if he wanted to, he could have taken both names, like because sometimes that happens with adoption, they change the middle name and stuff like that.
Right. So it would be like a hyphenated. He probably hyphenated his name. So it would have been. I forgot his last name, the last name of Arl Eamon, but it's that dash Dubois. Anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead.
So does Connor still have his sword out?
He still has his sword out. He doesn't. He's starting to put it down though. He's starting to sheath it. I think he's starting to trust you.
Okay, because Rain was gonna have a snappy quip.
Connor appears to be a boy in his mid to late teens, I would say. Mid to late teens.
So you mentioned some sort of investigation and such. I'm guessing you're an official person that has a lot of authority.
As much as someone in my position can have.
Uh-huh. So what's the investigation?
My official rank is Junior Enchanter.
And the investigation?
Well, there was something strange in the neighborhood, so they decided to have us come here. I believe the strange is you. And all of this. Yes?
Yeah.
I won't deny that I'm strange, but assuming calling me a demon was a little far. I know I look weird, but that's not nice.
I didn't say you look weird.
Well, compared to normal Asari, and she kind of like looks over at Faith. I've gotten my more than a fair share of double takes.
Normal Asari. Alright. So you are... Your name is Rain and you are Asari.
Yes.
I am not familiar with where this word would come from, the dialects or anything. I don't think humans on so Gwenhael would probably say, we are humans. Do you have humans where you are from?
Yeah, we
Yes and no, they're not on the place that I'm from, but they're nearby-ish.
Alright.
Has your race achieved space flight?
Space flight?
I'm
That's
guessing
a
that's a
no,
no.
No.
So where we're from, there are many different planets with many different species on them. Humans are one of
One
them.
of them.
I am Aquarian, so is
Oh, no, one moment. He leans over to Connor and says, did they just say that the stars in the sky, the planets, have life on them, other life?
I think that's what they said. Do you? I wouldn't normally believe them, but I don't know what to think now. Connor says he looks very confused.
This is
At one
weird.
time, I would have thought this is impossible, but then again, I've traveled through time.
okay. Let me break it down, and Salo will bring up like an image of the Milky Way galaxy on his Omni tool.
Okay.
This is the Milky Way galaxy. This is where we are from.
Monsieur? Raise his hand.
That
Yes,
is.
in the front.
What kind of a spell is that?
Yes. Are you sure you're not a mage?
Is it, if you think that we're mages, isn't there some sort of like magical juju you can throw at us to see if we're mages or not?
Magical juju? Connor asks as he tilts his head. Juju?
Is there a
That
test
is
you can
racist,
do?
sir.
See if we
Gotta
Gwenhael
be-
was actually just going to do that. He takes out the mirror, and he starts to scan them for spiritual to see if there is any I can't think of the word right now. It's that any flows of lyrium or anything around them or anything.
You use the mirror, and no, you do not sense any lyrium. These are not mages. They're not demons. They're not spirits. They're
Mages would have connection to the Fade, so there would be like
Correct.
no connection to the Fade.
no connection to the Fade. Their biology is completely different from any other race or creature that you are aware of in this world. So signs are starting to point to them telling you some truth in what they're saying.
Oh,
And meanwhile, Ranger's like, juju is like mumbo jumbo.
Faith was trying to say something. What was Faith trying to say?
She was basically saying, is there like a test you could do to tell if we're mages?
yeah. He just got done doing that and stuff. He's like looking at the mirror and stuff like that. Continue with your not magic display.
Okay. We have all of these stars in our galaxy. Any one star could have any number of planets on this. You see how big of a scale this is? Apparently, are in an entirely different galaxy. So this is where we're from, and we're somewhere else that could have any number of stars and any number of planets.
It is infinite, like the Fade.
Maybe
Sure.
maybe their galaxy is the Fade, Connor says.
Well, that would imply that they are spirits, but they are not. At least not anyone that we've ever seen before, even for my connections to the Fade.
Here's a question for you, Connor says. He finally sheaths his sword and he walks right up to, I guess, Salo, because he's the one who's got the display. Do you know the Maker?
No.
No, I'm guessing that's your version of.
I know the
God.
goddess.
Sounds religious to me.
The Maker is the one who created everything in existence.
Okay, well, let's see if we can have some common ground. Have you ever heard of the Reapers?
Oh god.
Connor says Reapers. No.
Of
They're
course
the
they
ones who
wouldn't.
destroy
Reapers?
everything.
Well, they would know the Reapers that collect the weekly grain.
Of course they wouldn't, Solo. They're not advanced enough to have been targeted by them.
Just checking.
Hmm.
Anyway, you say that I'm guessing you're a mage?
Uh, yes, I suppose yes, I am.
Magic, please. I want to see magic. That would be awesome.
Excuse me?
Come on, pretty please?
We're not here for your entertainment, Connor says.
Well, okay, fine.
Magic is not to be abused for trivial entertainment upon request. We are not street magicians of sleight of hand.
Yeah, but if you are actual mages, I've never seen magic before. I've only seen biotics.
I mean, magic is stuff from like books. I don't
From
think
where we're
anyone
from,
can
yeah.
do magic.
It's like
Yeah.
stories and stuff.
Do you
Stories.
know Harry Potter? My sister would really like to meet Harry Potter.
Harry,
I
of course
don't-
he does.
I
Harry
know-
Potter transcends.
I think I know a Harold Potter, but no, I do not know a Harry Potter.
Okay then, that's a story about magic, is all we're saying.
No.
So, what are you guys doing here then? Connor asks.
Excellent question. Have no idea.
Well, I might know a little bit, maybe. So you know how you wanted me to take that mod and put it on my gun?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of started glowing when we were in the airlock a few minutes ago, and then it kind of fired by itself.
And has it done that before? Like,
You wouldn't know. He hasn't fired it.
I've seen it fired, though.
but like Neha would have told us that the gun was acting weird, I'm sure. Because, Trissy got zapped into nowhere.
When I've seen Quinn fire the gun, it didn't do anything like it did when it sent us here.
While you're saying that and you're examining the mod again, Quinn, with your Omni tool, you notice that whatever happened to it, it seems to have over-juiced itself, and the mod seems to be sort of on the fritz. It's a bit damaged.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
this thing's kind of broke now.
You believe that it probably will still work, but it's one of those things where it's like it's hanging by the thread. It'll probably work, but the more you use it, the more risk you have in having it implode and possibly destroy all of reality as you know it.
So
that's
she's
great.
gonna ask Joker, it's like,
what
we're gonna
Quinn-
need repairs, right?
Quinn, what Quinn? Quinn are you talking to, by the way?
Quinn, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Salo. I'm talking about Salo because it's on his gun. I'm sorry. Yes. So it's sort of kind of hanging by duct tape at the moment.
So the mod's kind of broke. It'll still work, but possible side effects include reality being completely destroyed.
Rain kind of. I was kidding! Ah.
I told you not to say that. Things will go wrong.
By the way, I have a gun just like out.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright, well, I guess we're stuck here for a little bit while repairs are done and we make sure that that thing isn't going to explode.
Explode?
You do know what an explosion is, yeah?
Yes, we know
Yes.
what an explosion.
You know what an
is.
explosion is? We
Which
actually
just,
saw
it just
one.
seems like a.
We saw a big orange one just before you guys appeared. Which is
How big explosion are we talking here?
Everyone
Well, everything
and
go- everything in the
everything
world
everywhere that
goes
has ever
bye-bye.
been is gone. So catatonic or catastrophic. Depends on what word you want to use.
so
No,
when are,
catatonic is what you're trying to make me go into.
so when are you guys going to leave then with your explodey? Wait a minute. Are you guys the ones who made that big orange explosion happen in Temple of Sacred Ashes?
Probably.
Maybe.
Do you
That's
have anyone
you.
on your ark in burgundy robes?
No, and it's not an arc, it's a ship. And Solo, since when can the gun send us to different galaxies in the first place?
All right.
I'm
It has always been sending us to different galaxies.
But on
sending us
command,
to different
it has to be on
dimensions,
its own.
but
That is the strangest design for an airship I have ever seen.
It's bigger than the Tempest Dream, though.
Yes.
It works. I guess
Solo
that's
will
what
start
matters.
spouting off mechanical engineering that they probably don't understand. Just nerding out.
Yeah, Solo likes his ships.
So what do we need to do to make sure that your thing doesn't explode?
Wait, he's talking about the ship? I thought he was speaking a different language over there.
To make sure our thing doesn't explode. Good question. Not a techie.
We probably should use it only when we're really super sure that we need it.
Technically, you
Or
have
in
an
an
expert on it.
Like for about
Or
3,
until
I
they
don't
fix
know.
it. I don't know how long that will take. I don't know if that's possible.
Could you give me an estimate? Rain at first was starting to sound panicked, but now she's starting to think about something else. Can you give me an estimate on how long?
I need to investigate it and probably collaborate with Quinn.
This could work. Think about it. How much further can you get out of you-know-whose hands than to be in a completely different galaxy and in a different reality? We could finalize our plans here and
We
then
should
move
also
on.
think that this gun basically tears holes from what the Alpha Squad was able to tell us.
You
And
mean
the
main
Reapers
squad.
can sense when we do that. So we might be bringing the Reapers to an entirely new galaxy if they've never been here.
Yeah, which is why our plan needs to work.
Ay,
Because there's nothing we can do about it now. It's
I-
done.
that is so many questions. So many questions.
I guess first things first. A place to sit down, lodging, or do you want to get? I'm sure you don't want to get on our ship.
When you mention that, you hear a voice from the ship calling out, "Salo, Salo, are you out here?" And
Uh-oh.
at this, Nilu pokes her head out, and as soon as she pokes her head out, she looks towards the direction of Gwenhael and Connor. She looks at Connor's direction and she freezes. Connor
Oh,
looks
boy.
towards her and he freezes.
Oh no.
Quinn will be, if Nilu's going outside, Quinn would be escorting her.
Okay, Quinn is escorting her. Like, out of character, like, in this moment, like, cinematically, like, there's this slow motion. Bow, 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 bow. like, kind of music
Rain's gonna
playing.
look back and forth between them. Zing.
Oh boy. Salo, we might have another problem. Don't keep saying this.
I've never felt this way before. This look in your eyes.
So,
Yes, hello?
I'm lost.
oh, Salo, sorry. You have friends here on this weird, bizarre planet. She gets up and she walks past you, Salo, and she walks over to Gwenhael and Connor
Oh
says,
dear.
"Hello there. My name is Nilu. Nice to meet you." And this Gwenhael is she's a young teenage Quarian in a yellow suit, very sweet sounding, and she goes right up to you and Connor, and she immediately puts out her
Oh,
hand to
dear.
shake yours and Connor's hands.
And she's a Quarian, you said.
Yeah.
She is a Quarian, yes.
So she
Yes,
must take her hand and say,
and the one you've seen before is standing.
"Daggers."
Probably about 16 years of age, at least in humans by human standards. She's like 16, 15 or 16.
Right. And also she goes out to shake hands and I just see 3 fingers.
Yes.
Um. Hello. Nice to meet you. I am Gwenhael, and this is my brother and apprentice, Connor.
She turns towards Connor, and Connor doesn't respond. He's just kind of standing there staring at her.
Oh boy.
Hello, Connor. Connor kind of. Oh, sorry. Hello. My name is Connor, and he gets down and bows and shakes her hand.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
So I guess this clears up the fact that we're not spooky, scary demons or spooky, scary monsters or whatever, right? Like we're in the clear about that.
Gwenhael, can we see their
You
ship?
are not.
Connor asks. Gwenhael, can we see their ship? Connor finally snaps out of it.
I would love to see this ship, but there are still many more questions to be asked before we go running into the well, lovely splendor of that arc-put ship. But yes, we should convene somewhere else and continue questions. And I'm sure you have many questions as well. As it seems that, as you said, with this event, that you have brought something catastrophic to Thedas.
What else is new?
Oh, man.
Connor says.
Oh,
a
so you
smile.
guys deal with world-ending stuff all the time?
Oh, you have no idea.
We should definitely exchange notes.
Yes.
Where are you guys gonna have your powwow then?
I guess after Connor gets the stars out of his eyes, he can look through the ship if he wants, but Rain does not want to talk details on the ship because reasons.
Okay, so you guys are giving them a tour of the Normandy? That's what you guys are doing?
We can do that real quick, and then we can go find like
Okay.
a place to lounge.
Gwenhael would not want to go on a ship right now.
Okay. He doesn't want to
So
go.
how about
It's still
we
too
not do that?
dangerous. Yeah, it's too dangerous.
So, where are we gonna convene? Where would you'll take them?
What would be a good place for Gwenhael would know for them to be able to have a discussion around here?
Gwenhael, while you're thinking about that, your eye looks up. You notice a shadow kind of hovering, a large shadow forming underneath you, and when you look up, you see a very familiar vessel in the sky.
Mine's bigger.
Yours is bigger though, but there is a vessel up in the sky, flying in the sky.
It's not about the size of the ship. You know that, right?
Yeah, we got it.
It's better to get to England in a sailboat than a rowboat.
The vessel has seemed to have stopped right in front of right above the Normandy, and a rope gets thrown down off of the side. A familiar being climbs down from the rope and jumps down, and you are face to face with Archer. He sighs and he kind of just shakes his head.
Oh,
How
you guys
close is
didn't
he
have
to the
spaceships.
ship?
I'm sorry?
How close is he to the ship?
Not too close. I don't think Archer would want to be that close to your ship. I would say maybe several meters from the ship.
Quinn will approach.
As you approach, Archer takes out an arrow from his quickly takes out an arrow from his quiver, and he pulls out his bow and he aims it towards your direction, but he doesn't fire.
Hey,
They're not hostile. Archer.
Archer looks at you, looks to your direction, and then he slowly lowers his bow.
when he draws out his arrow, Quinn will slowly begin reaching back for his sword.
Okay.
But when he puts the arrow down, Quinn will lower his hand. Good day. Welcome to this festival gathering.
Archer looks towards Gwenhael. He points at Gwenhael, and with a puzzled look on his face, he points over to the ship.
No, the ship is ours. He's Solo. What's he doing here?
He's investigating.
He's investigating.
I thought you guys didn't have flying stuff. I thought you guys didn't have spaceships or anything like that.
We do not go into space. It just goes through the sky.
Oh, airplane. Okay, got it.
Aeroplane? Airplane?
It's an outdated piece of technology where we're from. Don't worry about it.
So Quinn will say the ship is ours. He's basically investigating our presence after conferring with Solo.
Gwenhael looks at Archer, and since I know he understands Orlesian, he begins speaking in Orlesian to him. They are from another, apparently. They are not demons. Through my extensive study and from what I have been able to gather with my abilities, they are not spirit or demons, but a whole new form of life from worlds beyond. It is very strange, and I'm trying to get more information, but stuff keeps happening.
Archer nods.
Hey, Hark.
And, yes.
Can I roll a xenolinguistics to try and figure out what the heck he just said?
Sure.
Can I just try to adjust my I'm fairly certain everyone has
Universal language translator.
translators. Could we just
Yes. I don't know if it will have anything in its like bank.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't think it would be able to translate that. You wouldn't be able to translate Orlesian.
Nah.
Well, if we're speaking all
pages in French
at each other or something like that, I would imagine that it probably picks up a little bit, because I imagine Orlesian is probably really similar to French.
Really similar, yes, but
That's
I don't
why
want it to
Rain-
be exact.
I rolled an 11. It's xenolinguistics is about like cross-referencing words and that sound.
You might pick up a few words here and there, but not enough to really know like what he's actually saying, the content of what he's saying.
If we don't know Orlesian, how do we even know Ferelden?
Ferelden is I'm just to make it simple. I'm making Ferelden basically the same language as common, whatever humans speak in Mass Effect. I make just to keep it easy.
Well, that's a pretty language you got there.
Archer will point towards you and Connor, and then point upwards up the ladder.
Oh.
This would be a good place for us to meet. On to our ship, then.
Okay. I'm interested to see what this thing's all about. And just so I'm not shown up by Solo, Rain's gonna try and Could I like just pull myself up to the ship?
You're gonna pull yourself up to the ship?
Like using the biotic pull? Can I just do that?
If you want to. Do you want to roll for that?
Hello at the same time will grappling hook up there and raise her.
Brace your Solo!
You start to pull yourself up to the ship. Halfway up the ship, an arrow whizzes by you, like narrowly grazes your nose almost. And if you were to look down, you'll see a very angry and upset Archer, like holding his arrow at you, like as if like, and shaking his head back and forth.
I can't stop. It's already going.
You go over the ship, and after you see Archer, the way he handled Rain going up onto the ship, does the other people use their grappling hooks or whatever to go up to the
No,
side?
I'm good. I'm good.
So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop.
I was already going.
You're going to?
Yeah, Solo and Rain went at the same time.
All right.
Rain can't actually stop herself because she's using biotics.
Quinn will motion over to you. Are we not invited onto your ship?
You have to wait a moment.
Gwenhael, you believe that Captain Maelstrom would not appreciate people that she doesn't know to get up onto the ship without somebody that she trusts, like you, for
Yes.
example.
Yes.
It would be extremely rude to just make yourself up on the ship unescorted by someone like you that she would know. So, yeah.
I
Anyway,
guess Rain will just grab onto the ledge and hang there. It's like, okay.
well, no, you wouldn't know this, Rain.
Well,
You're
I
trying to
mean,
get
she
up on
got
the ship.
shot at.
Yeah, but you can't stop. So
Yeah, she can't stop going up.
You're now on the ship, along
Yeah,
with,
I am now on
along
the
with
ship.
Solo.
if you guys are on Roll20, you should be able to see a very familiar map now.
Yay!
Rain, you and Salo get on board the ship, and you hear a furious voice call out, very authoritative and furious voice, as a creature that you don't recognize towers, a towering-looking female creature in what appears to be a captain's garb, yells out and says, "What is it with you people that think that you can simply board onto my ship unattended and unescorted?" She goes right up to the two of you, says, "I am not dealing with BS a second time. Down! Now!"
I can probably hear this from up
Yes.
down here. Oh dear, you have
Bow.
your friends have
Apologize.
flown into a maelstrom.
Away.
On second thought, I'd rather not go to your ship. Go onto that ship.
"Who is your leader?" she asks immediately.
Well, I just took it as an invitation.
She goes right up to you, Rain, and she says, "Let me ask you a question. If you owned a vessel and total strangers decided to come onto your ship unannounced without your permission," does this sound like something that happened earlier out
Yeah.
of character? "How would you take it and feel, Miss Leader?"
Oh, wow.
Point for me.
Yahoo!
She'll look down and like spy Quinn. I wonder how I would feel. Wow.
Shame I can't hear what's going on up there.
Nah. Well, I was invited on here. I just couldn't stop once I started going. Unfortunately, that's the drawback.
I did not invite you. I am the one who owns this ship, and I am the one who can give permission to come and board it freely. No one else.
Well, shoot.
They
thought
really
other
jumped the
people-
shark on this. Maelstrom is going to kill them.
Can we save the Quarian?
Would you take an I'm sorry?
By the way, with the captain, like another crew of all these large, burly-looking creatures are also there. I just don't have them all onto the ship, but they're all there too, and they look just as ticked off as she is. And the captain wavers slightly, and she says, "An apology would be a good start. At least it
I
was
also
more."
have a
I'm going to
fridge full
just.
of really exotic drinks.
Yeah, you can rush up, Gwenhael. If you want to rush up there,
Yeah.
you can rush up if you want there
Everyone
to
else
defuse
stay
the
down.
situation.
Everyone else stay down here. Archer, Hunter, keep an eye on our worldly guest, new worldly guest. I'm just going to pop on up there really quick.
When
I'm
you
actually-
do that, Archer grabs a hold of your shoulder, and he kind of goes, as if like telling you, "Good luck up there. Good luck."
Well,
If
Rain's
she-
like,
Don't worry, she'll only maul me half to death if she's really angry. Then I'll heal myself.
Rain will be like, so after she says an apology would be a good start. It's like, well, I can offer an apology and some drinks. I have some fancy drinks. You want some drinks?
Roll a persuasion.
Gwenhael's gonna use his levitation to get himself up there really quickly.
And can I also like, I don't know. I will roll persuasion first, and then I'll also roll like a street smarts to see what will get her to calm down. That's
So
not-
Gwenhael levitates himself up there.
16
Do I
for
have
the
to roll?
persuasion.
That manages to calm her down a little bit by the time Gwenhael comes up to the ship.
I'm really sorry. I didn't know. I didn't think it was owned by anyone else. I thought all the people we were talking to were already on the ground. I know how you feel. Believe me.
Gwenhael, do you want to say something as you board the ship, or do you want
Yeah,
to wait
he
for?
floats up above everyone and lands in front of them and says, ahoy, Captain. Sorry about the confusion. They kind of jumped the shark here.
She says, Junior Enchanter Dubois. I trust that this was simply a misunderstanding on your part.
Yes, and on their part, and it's a huge misunderstanding. Just like the old times. I'm very, very, very sorry.
That disarms her a little bit more, and she says, very well. You have to understand, though, Junior Enchanter, I had to deal with something, with the very same thing with another group of outworlders just a few days ago. They were not nearly as apologetic, she says, turning towards Rain and Salos.
Others?
Yes, there were 4 of them. I'm assuming that when we started hearing that the heralds of Andraste returned again, that it was our friends once again. But you seem to be different.
There are a few more down there. May they come up now?
She takes Gwenhael aside, and while she does, the other guards keep an eye on the other 2. She takes you aside and she privately asks you, "How well do you know these people?"
Not very well at all. I was happy to see you when you got here. Familiar allies and faces. They seem to have immense power, and I am not without all of our old friends. Perhaps you can inform me and help me out, and help me out with the investigation here.
Junior Enchanter, she says, you know I have the utmost respect for you, which is why I am definitely prepared to abide by your best judgment. But please understand how hesitant I am about all of this. I don't just let anyone onto my ship.
Yes, I understand. But the only other place that would be able to be confident is, well, we'd have to go all the way back to one of the towers. Ow, there's looking like this was like as though the ship, and I do not wish to board a stranger's ship. I am confident, I think, that if all goes wrong, we would be able to handle the situation. I do not think they're much more threatening than an archdemon, after all.
She nods, and with that, she turns at her heels again and walks towards Rain. She goes towards you, Rain, and she says, "As leader, what do they refer to you as?"
Rain.
Captain?
Just call me Rain. I don't want to deal with formalities. Not on my end, anyway.
Very well. Rain, your people have the run of the main deck of the ship, as well as the meeting room upstairs. Other than that, you are to keep yourselves away from the other parts of the ship, and keep all of your people in check at all times.
All right. Do I have your permission to bring those drinks aboard, as I promised, as way of apology?
Several of the crew members react to that and says, "Oh yeah," as if they're hoping she'll say yes. "We will accept your offer."
Thank you.
"Keep your weapons sheathed."
Oh, and Solo, keep Quinn under control, because I swear to God, if he screws it up for one of us, he screws it up for all of us.
Yeah.
These people aren't screwing around. I have had my fair share of run-ins with groups like this. Anyway, she's going to message Faith over the radio. It's like, hey, go and bring up some of my drinks. They're especially the ones from Tachanka. The Krogan beverages.
Okay.
Yasari says into the air.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go do that, and she'll go back into the ship.
Is that Connor? I would offer to help Connor up there.
Actually, I was gonna have Gwenhael levitate him up.
Ah, that'd be
Oh,
easier.
okay, that's fine.
Quinn would bring Nilu up as well.
Okay. While
Because
you,
When I
go
move
ahead.
people, you don't see a strange glow.
Once you guys are all gathered at the top of the ship, it's not a Normandy, but it's still pretty darn impressive, I would think.
Yeah, Sal is scanning the technology.
It's like someone converted a spaceship into a
Into
Renaissance fair.
wood. That's the
Right.
thing that Rain is most impressed by. It's like, this is made out of wood. Wood!
when he gets on board, he will sort of proclaim permission to board.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
I see that
Thank you.
several of the members of your crew are very well behaved. She says, over saying that to Rain.
Wait, crew? Who's crew?
The captain will introduce herself to you. My name is Captain Maelstrom. I am the captain of the ship. Let me make one thing quite clear. You are here because this man over here has requested for you to be here. I trust this man and respect him with my life. Please do not do anything that would stain that trust and respect. For both of our sakes, she says to you all.
Of course, Captain.
Yes,
Oh,
Captain.
boy.
And with that, she will turn to Gwenhael and says, they're your responsibility now. And she will let you do whatever it is you want with them.
All right.
Yeah, after Maelstrom leaves, and I guess it's just Gwenhael and them again, she'll be like, sorry about that. Whenever you said, I think I found a place for us to meet, and you told me that you held the authority in this investigation, I took that to mean this was your ship. And I got a little excited.
Gwenhael looks like he's going to say something, but then he kind of goes like this, like he's biting his tongue. Right. Don't do that again.
Still, this is made of wood. What the hell?
So,
The captain's not so bad. She's a bit strict and has a little bit of a temper, Connor says, but she's a good woman, and she's an even better captain.